The views expressed on this holiday podcast special are those of the podcasters, any guests, and do not reflect any of the management, employees, sponsorships, or affiliates of thereof.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Do you ever feel alone during the holidays? I've been there before, and it's not a fun place to be, which is why I wanted to create a special for somebody like me back in the day. I just wish I had a listening ear, or maybe even heard stories that brightened up my time or my mood. I wanted that. So here's my gift to you. This is 12 Days of Christmas with me, DreRawka. I got some of my closest friends, and we talk Christmas. We talk about their favorite traditions and new ones as well. I hope you enjoy, and a very Merry Christmas from me to you.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Listen daily with my dad and his friends for 12 Days of Christmas. Only here on Unrestricted.
Oh yeah, happy Podsmas. I am coming at you live, low-key from from my bedroom. I am it's December the 4th, and I am currently looking outside my window, looking at Salt Lake City. My son is about to take a shower, and I am enjoying a Monster, the blue one, the what is this one? The Ultra Blue Hawaiian. And it's delicious. As you can see, no video today. No video on this one. This is just you and I, me and you. Audio only. I feel like that's something that I forget about sometimes, is that like podcasts, it's audio. The video portion is the show portion, right? That's the show portion. But I feel like some people get it confused and think that a podcast is audio, and they feel like they need to do the audio thing. And for some, they do. That's what they like, and everybody has their way of doing things. But yeah, today we are rolling audio only for day 4 of Podsmas. Hopefully you've been enjoying Podsmas. As I was editing the episodes, the sweepers and the ads that I throw into the show, we recorded that 4 years ago, and that's my son. That's my oldest son, Tavian, in the ads, and it's crazy to see how he sounds now. Because if he came, Tavian, come here. I know he's gonna be over here. Tavian, come here. Maybe if he hears me, I'm gonna put him on the mic. But this kid, he sounds totally different. When he recorded the ad, he was a child, sweet innocent child. Now he's a teenager in 7th grade. Today was a good day. Today was a really good day. I took some time off of my day job, and I went and I helped my good friend Sean, the owner, operator, and barber over at Boogie Down Barbershop. He just got a new shop. So, man, 5 years ago, Sean was at another location. He just exited his apprenticeship. I believe he exited it, and he was at a shop called ABD Shop, and that was up on the east side, and he was shop manager or whatever, and he was doing this thing, and there was maybe 5 other chairs in this shop. And that's when I started to take my oldest to go get his haircut from him, because once I found out that my boy had a shop, I was like, yeah, let's support the homie. Mind you, me and Sean went to high school. His stint was short because he ended up moving back to the East Coast, but Sean and I there was a solid few months where we were together all the time, and I would see him every day and whatnot, and we just rolled in the same circles, and so we became boys. And he's always treated me with respect, and vice versa. And so when I seen that he was venturing out and he was going to start his own barbershop and he was going to do his own thing, of course I was like, yo, I got to step up and be a good friend and and help support his dream of being a barber, which is kind of what I wanted to talk about today, is support and things that you want to support, the people that you care about, seeing them succeed. Today was when I said it was a really good day, I really felt like it was a really good, I needed to see Sean's success, because there's some new ventures that I'm going to be doing come the new year, and just seeing how hard he grinded and see where he's at, I'm like, man, it's achievable, right? Things in life are far-fetched, but until people around you and people in your circle start to achieve things that you think are far-fetched. So Sean, when he first started 2020, he started off like every other barber. Well, I shouldn't say every other barber, but he starts off in school, getting his hours, apprenticeship. Then he moves up, he gets more responsibility, and the next thing you know, he's outgrown where he was, and he ends up in a studio shop, just a small little, almost like it had to have been maybe 300 square feet, maybe, and it was a whole bunch of other salons inside this one big building, and he was there for a while, and then he got the opportunity to move to somewhere similar but bigger, a little bit more space. And then he was there for a while, and then he got the opportunity to move into his own standalone barbershop, maybe 1,000 square feet, maybe a little bit more. But it's beautiful. When I pulled up this morning, I was like, wow, he met me outside. Yo, like, you could just tell he was excited. He's excited to show me his latest accomplishment. And Sean's he's a humble guy. He doesn't wear his emotions on his sleeve. Like, you would never know that he was excited, but I knew, because I know my guy. And so I'm looking at him, I'm like, man, he's excited. And because he's excited, I'm excited. And I'm just really, really stoked about it. I seen pictures online, and I was excited to just see what he has built. And so I get out the car, and we're chatting for a little bit outside. I'm looking around the building. He's showing me this, everything about the building and whatnot. And it's beautiful, new pavement for the parking, and it's in a prime location. For those of you that are local here in Salt Lake City, it's off of 3300 South and right off of Highland Drive, like half a block up from Highland Drive, over by Liquid Joe's. Tres Hombres is over there. There's the Burger King. There's a Walgreens. Sean's right there. So prime location, a lot of traffic. It looks amazing. So I walk in, and it's like warm. It smells great. It's Sean. It's his aesthetic. It's beautiful. And I see, for the longest time, he only had one chair. I see two chairs in there. I'm like, yo, what's going on with this second chair? Are we putting somebody else in here? And he's like, man, eventually, I want to get, somebody that I trust that can come in here and whatnot. And he was like, yo, I even have enough space to get a third chair in here if we wanted to. And he was telling me about how his landlord is, really easy to work with. And I just couldn't be prouder of this guy. And so originally I had set up some time for my friend Ezekiel Latu to go over there and get his haircut and film some content for both of them, where Zeke can promote his fight, and in return we can also show off the new spot for Boogie Down, right? But Zeke had something come up, he couldn't make it, so of course I'm not going to cancel on Sean. We just use it as an opportunity to just highlight Sean at this point. So we ended up filming some content, asked him some questions, and hopefully it comes out good. Actually, that's part of the problem with 12 Days of Podsmas, is that each episode is like 500 gigs of space. And so I don't have an extra external hard drive. It's actually I don't have the space to drop the content that I need to drop and save, because I save all of my content that I shoot. I save. So for all you rappers out there that are like, yo, don't post that. Let's not post the interview because I don't like how it came out. Yeah, I still got all that content. I got all the videos. There's a radio interview that I did, and it turned out that this guy worked with police, and he didn't like the aesthetic that he worked with the police. Now, I don't know in which context he works for the police. He just said that he does. You know what I mean? He said that at his job, he works with police. I don't know what that is. And I didn't care to ask. But I have about an hour of this interview that he asked me not to post. And not gonna lie, if this dude does me wrong, it's going out to the world. And that goes for the rest of you dirt bags.
A Christmas memory that I have growing up is going to the Ogden Christmas Village with my family every year as a tradition. And now that I'm older and have children of my own, me and my husband make it a point to take our kids to Christmas in Color every year, and then afterwards we come home and decorate Christmas cookies and watch Christmas movies.
But that's part of the problem with 12 Days of Podsmas is that I need to dedicate a 5 terabyte or 2 terabyte hard drive just for Podsmas. So yeah, that's part of the reason why you guys are getting audio only today. But I kind of like this because I'm literally sitting in my bed again, looking over Salt Lake City and holding the mic and just chatting. I wouldn't be surprised if one of my family members come into the bedroom anytime soon. But yeah, that's we got the content with Sean. Got some pictures. It felt really good. And you know, sometimes I feel like jealousy is a thing, right? And people can be envious of somebody else. And I've felt that before. I'm human. I've definitely felt envy before. I've definitely felt jealous before. I've definitely been like, why does that person have that and I don't? I've had that feeling before. But as I've matured, as I've worked, as I've put my nose to the ground, I don't do that no more. Like, I'm not envious of anybody anymore. And I think a lot of that is because of my willingness and my attentiveness to work hard. Because I feel like as long as you're working, you're going to achieve exactly what you're envious of, right? So looking at where Sean is, no envy. I'm like, wow, this man worked hard. He doesn't have a 9-to-5. He's his own business owner. Everything falls on him. And then he was showing me pictures of his vacation to Tulum in Mexico and with his wife. And he's like, man, you got to get out to Tulum. You got to go out to this resort. He was telling me how all-inclusive works and things like that. Because I haven't even been out the country. So I don't know how the whole resort thing works and whatnot. And it seems far-fetched to go to a resort on a beautiful beach with white sand and all the drinks you can have and being able to chill with 6-foot iguanas in the wild. It seems like a far-fetched thing, right? Until your friend shows you that it's achievable and it's really not that expensive. He was like, yo, you could do this trip for 5 days, round trip for $2,500. And I'm like, if a small business owner that believes in himself can do that, I can do that, right? So that's kind of where I'm at with the inspiration portion. I feel like a lot of times we get inspired, but we don't do nothing with it. Right now, I am in such a creative spot. I'm in such a spot where there's something burning in me that tells me I need to go into this endeavor. And I'll tell you guys what it is, probably at the top of the year. But I'm going to start this endeavor that is totally my brand. Something that I feel a lot of people, one, will probably be surprised about, but two, of course that's totally you. That's totally would work. And so I've been having this thought, right? And I've been having these these feelings to lean into this thing for quite a while now. And then to see where Sean's at, I'm like, I have to pull the trigger. I have to invest. I have to do this thing. So I say that to say, when you find inspiration, when you find motivation on something, dive into it. It's okay. It's okay to be scary. It's okay to try something new. It's okay to learn. It's okay to get these bumps and bruises. I did it with this whole podcast thing. I continue to get bumps and bruises on this podcast thing, on this broadcast thing, because I'm not perfect at it. I'm not the greatest. I am consistent, and I learn from it, and I try to adapt and evolve. In fact, I actually created a new logo for Podsmas this year, and my son was like, "Dad, that's really dope." So it's like, cool. I got the approval of the youth. I need the youth behind me. Come on, kids. Come on to the Podsmas train. Yeah. I think next year I'm going to have to start planning in like September, maybe even August. I think August I'm going to have to start working on my Podsmas calendar and decorate the studio maybe 2 months in advance rather than a week before I start recording. Just because it is such a big load, it is such a pause, it is such a big task. I've been following. It's weird. Like, I work in my day job. I work at a computer. I work. I do all the typing, and I have podcasts on my headphones, or I watch a movie or YouTube. And not gonna lie, I turned on Tubi, and I fell into a Christmas movie wormhole. I didn't realize how much movies are on Tubi. I always thought Tubi was just kind of like, one of those apps on that comes with your TV with a whole bunch of generic ass movies. But some of them generic ass movies are fire, and you should explore Tubi a little bit more. Like last night, I fell into a movie called Christmas Coins. Or was it Christmas Coins? I believe it's called Christmas Coins. And it almost felt like a Lifetime movie or like a holiday Hallmark movie. And it was about a lady who has 2 kids and a baby daddy that's an inspiring producer. But we all know anybody in the music business is broke. So she's doing all this by herself, right? She's trying to provide Christmas for her whole family, her kids and everything, all while being she got in trouble with the IRS because her baby daddy wasn't paying stuff, and unfortunately they came after her. They froze her accounts, and so now she's doing ride shares, she's doing cleaning services, she's doing all this stuff, right, to try to provide her kids a nice Christmas. All along, the kids are like, "Hey, Mom, we don't need nothing. Hey, we're good. We see how much you work already. Hey, we'll get jobs. We'll help out with Christmas." And of course, the mom is like, "No, I'm not going to have my kids work. I'm going to go and make my own money so I can feed my family and get my family the gifts that they want, because that's what Christmas is about. Consumerism and buying stuff. And if you say anything else, you're a damn lie. You're lying to yourself." Even the people at the church, they forget about Jesus. Jesus don't even get his own birthday no more. Santa Claus gets all the joy and love on December 25th. Isn't that weird? It's weird how that works. So she ends up getting all these different jobs, and all along, parallel universes, there's an ex-NFL player or an NFL player that ends up getting injured, and he's just a hot shot. He's just somebody that's always right. He's somebody that talks down on people. He's just a rich snob, right? Well, that money's drying up. If he's injured, he ain't getting paid, and he got cut off the team, so now he's looking for work. He's trying to be a broadcaster. He's trying to find work, and his money's dried up. So he's having a hard time as well. So he can't have the personal chef no more. He doesn't have the chauffeur no more. So he has to ball on a budget, if you will. So what does he do? He calls a ride share. This guy's never done a ride share a day in his life. And guess who his driver is? Yep, you guessed it. It's the mom trying to provide money to the IRS so she can get her accounts unfroze so she can provide a nice consumerism Christmas for her kids. Yeah. So, those two, they don't like each other. He's a snob. She's a hard-working woman who is tired of people being rude. And just like the Hallmark movies, these two end up being friends. Now, there was a twist to this story, right? There's a lot in between. But ultimately, the message is, yo, NFL guy, you can't be a dick, because at the end of the day, we're all the same people. And no matter how rich or how famous you are, you need to be a nice person, because you never know where you're going to fall in this thing called life. And the message for the lady was, you don't need to do it all yourself. It's okay to get help, right? It's okay to ask for help. And in this time of the spirit of Christmas and the spirit of joy, I took that message as well. I took that message of it's okay to ask for help. I keep on telling you about this endeavor. I'm going to need a lot of help. I'm going to need a lot of help with getting the word out about stuff. I'm going to need a lot of help of just creating cool stuff with this thing. And even with this podcast, you know, they're not outright. Nobody's ever been like, yo, Dre, I want to take care of this and I want to do this for you. But at the same time, I haven't really asked. So I think in 2026, that's something I want to work on, is asking for help and being like, giving people opportunities to help, right? I might not be able to pay everybody, but then again, I look at myself as a young 19-year-old, 23-year-old. I was doing a lot of free work just for the experience and just to get through the doors on a lot of things. And I still will do that. I will still do a free gig or do a free, record somebody's podcast for free, or give them an idea on something for free. No consolidation, no consult fee or anything like that. All because you just never know. You just never know what opportunity can come from that. And you never know what you can learn from that. For instance, right? I love this Utah mixed martial arts community, this combat sports community, from the boxers to the MMA fighters to pro wrestling. I love where we are in this city. I love where we are in this state with it. And I want to be a part of it. I'm not a fighter. I'm not a pro wrestler. I'm not a manager. I'm not an agent. I'm not an announcer. I'm nothing in that community. I shouldn't say that. I do DJ for Fierce, so I do provide the soundtrack to the event space. And I also I wanted to find my way into it outside of that, right? Because yeah, I can DJ and I can do that for, a 5-hour, 4-hour event, but that's just one day out of the month. I want to be a part of this thing 24/7, 365. And how do I do that? Well, you can start by interviewing the fighters you find interesting, right? You can go to the gym. You can get content for guys. You know how to do that. You know how to work a camera. You know how to edit. Well, you also have a little bit of interest in writing, so maybe you can write up some press releases, right? So I was like, all right, I'm going to just do this with Zeke. I've never done it before, but Ezekiel Latu is my friend. He's a heavyweight. He's a huge prospect in the world of mixed martial arts. So I hit him up. I'm like, yo, Zeke, I want to try something. And Zeke is such a good friend. He's just like, yeah, whatever you want to do, let's do it. I'm down. And so I used Zeke as my guinea pig, really, on this whole thing. He trusted me with this thing and, wrote up some press releases and did a whole sponsorship package. And now I have that knowledge, right? Going back to doing things for free. I didn't ask for a cent. You know what I mean? I'm doing this all because I want the experience. I want to be able to do this thing. Now I have the knowledge of creating this thing. So now if there's another fighter, or even for myself with DJing, or for this next endeavor, I'm able to create a press release. I am able to create a package for maybe memberships or sponsorships or partnerships, whatever you want to call it. And it all came from me being like, I want to be a part of something. I want to create something. And I did it. And I'm really proud of it. And I'm really happy about it. And I just hope that the people I do it for and I do it with, they feel the same. Because it is not easy. It is not easy. A lot of what I do might look easy, and a lot of what people do might look easy, but it's not. I look at my friend George Bush, real name, no gimmicks. That's his name. Owner of Sauced Up Salsa. It is a salsa. I was gonna say local salsa business, but he even ships out of Utah. So, saucedupsalsa.com is his salsa, and he built that from the ground up with him and his wife. And it's like, that man is doing it. He's making it happen. And so I get a lot of inspiration from him. I get a lot of motivation from him. Just doing what he does, just seeing something that he wants to do and making it happen. He makes it look easy, and it's not. He makes it look so easy. And I could only imagine, like, whether if there's a shortage of tomatoes or if I guess that's the problem with doing the podcast from the bed, is that you get too relaxed and then you just want to doze off a little bit.
It is a freezing December day. Your coffee's brewing. You're trying to stay warm. You can smell the holiday scents in the house. Grab your coffee, grab your hot cocoa, grab your beverage of choice, and I'll bring the stories. Hi, I'm DreRawka, and this is 12 Days of Podsmas. We'll be talking to some of your favorite people, getting to know what their childhood Christmas was like and what they're doing today.
Listen daily with my dad and his friends for 12 Days of Christmas. Only here on Unrestricted.
Could you imagine just falling asleep during the podcast? Some people, I don't know if you're like me, but some people go to sleep to podcasts. I can listen to one hour and a half podcast, and it will take me 3 days to finish it because I'll put it on my headphones before I go to sleep, and I'll just be listening, and I'll just be slowly dozing off. And then when I wake up, I'll put it on like a podcast or something when I'm doing my daily task and whatnot. But yeah, man, I'm really feeling good today. I hope you're feeling good as well. I am still looking for your messages. If you'd be so kind to call in to the podcast, you can leave a voice note. You can also DM me at DreRawka, DreRawka. I want to add your Christmas messages right here on the show. I have a Google Voice number. The hotline is 801-449-1158. Again, 801-449-1158. You can call that number. You can leave a voice note or a voicemail, and then I play it right here on the show. I know you've heard the one that's been reoccurring. It's because I haven't got any new ones. And the ones that I did get, they weren't in the right format. So, that's the problem with doing this thing independent, I guess. It's not a problem. There's never a problem with doing anything independent. But like when I was at the radio station, we had a cool app where you can just leave. You can literally just click one button, hit record, and it goes straight to my email. I know there's technology out there to do that, whether if it's on my website or something, but it costs money to do that. And the podcast is bringing in a little bit of money, but not enough to add new features like that. But hopefully, the more we do this thing, we can make that a reality. I was listening to Serena. Serena is the daughter of my friend Erica and Junior. I used to produce their show, The 27th Hour. Their daughter, Serena, started her podcast back up called The Sad Girl Hours. And the Sad Girl Hours, they pivoted. She pivoted a little bit. Her show is now focused on, I don't even want to say true crime, but it's focused more on that kind of thing. And she is very much in tune with what's going on with Gaza, with Palestine and Israel. And she's such a boots on the ground activist, and I admire it because as much as I care about what's going on in the world, there is so much going on in the world, right? There is there's so much going on in the world, and there's so much going on locally, right? There's so much. But anyway, hearing her talk on her show, I was also thinking about opening up or collaborating with other shows to add segments to my show. So like, how cool would it be if we had like the Serena World Update, and she kind of gives me maybe a 5 to 10 minute or 3 to 5 minute breakdown of what's going on in the world. Like, yo, this week, blah, 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 signed a peace treaty and they violated that by bombing this city. You know, it's like, whoa, I didn't know that. And then that person can now hopefully gets crossover. Now, if you want to hear the full story of what's happening with this, check out Sad Girl Hour or whatever, right? Like, I think that'd be cool. Or even like Will Wonder, where maybe Will Wonder can give me a update on sports. Just a sports segment with Will Wonder. Boom. And then next thing you know, we're up to date on what's going on in sports. My Ducks are crushing it, by the way. Yo, we're looking good. We're in the playoffs. We're looking good. We beat USC, so salute to all my Trojans out there. Y'all fight on. Keep fighting all the way back to Southern California. I know that game was 3 weeks ago, but we always celebrate a Trojan loss. But yeah, that's something I've been thinking about, is more collaboration with the podcast, with the show, and that's how I've been seeing like my social media growing, is from all the collaboration I've been doing with specifically fighters. And we talk about this on Beans and Rice is coming on the show for Podsmas, and we were talking about appreciation for what we do. And I've been doing this thing under the, I don't want to say under the music umbrella, but majority of the reason why I got into this whole thing with entertainment was music. And I keep going hard for the music, the musicians in Utah and whatnot, but I gotta be 100% honest and truthful. When I started to put more love into the combat sports in Utah, the more appreciation I got from that community of MMA fighters, that community of pro wrestlers. They are ecstatic about what I contribute to their space, and vice versa. And I never got that same love, and I've never felt that same love. I should say the equivalent, the same amount, right? The same amount of fighters that show me love, the same amount of rappers or musicians won't show me that same love. Maybe 1 or 2, maybe 3 or 4, but out of a roster of 50 to 100, you only get maybe 10. That's insane to me. If you go through my whole catalog of interviewing musical artists, it's really insane to see how many people really reshare my stuff, like my stuff, invite me out to things. It's really insane. But then you do the same thing with the fighters, and the fighters are inviting me to their fights. They're saying, Dre, come out to training camp. They're saying, Dre, they're sharing my stuff. They're saying, hey, Dre, you should check out this person, right? It's really, really bizarre. It's really bizarre. And maybe it's because of discipline. Maybe it is because that is an art that is very much based upon respect, honor, and discipline, versus the music, which they say it is, but most of them ain't living it. Most of them don't live by respect and honor. They respect clout. You know what I mean? And clout really don't mean nothing to me in 2025. It really doesn't. Who needs clout? Who needs it? You know what I mean? I feel like you're just hard work, man. Like, hard work and a good product is going to get you whatever comes with it, which is part of that. You know, that clout falls underneath that, but you can't want the clout and not put in the work. Man, if I was a rapper, I think I would have got signed by now. With as much as I'll do for the amount of effort I put into this craft right here, I feel like if I put that amount of effort and I was talented and good at rapping, I feel like I would have got something. I don't know if it would have been signed, but maybe a nice little hit single, maybe a nice little regional run, maybe a career like a Baby Bash. Not to say that Baby Bash didn't have a successful career. I think Baby Bash had an amazing career. I feel like Baby Bash is one of those low-key artists that had, I mean, you look at Cyclone, you look at Sprung, Sugar, like he has some bangers, and he probably still, depending on how his contract looks, probably still living off of that stuff, man. If I had one piece of art that I can live off of for forever, like in a good way, I mean something that's gonna give me, $100,000 a year, sign me up. I feel like that's when you made it. When you have let's say $100,000 residual income, because I feel $100,000, and it's not $100,000 in the 90s is crazy. $100,000 this year, like in 2025, you're still having to budget. You know what I mean? Like maybe 150, you don't really have to budget. You can just kind of live your life. But even taking home $100,000, you're still having to budget. You're still having to figure things out. It's expensive out here. But hopefully, whatever you want to do in life, it can bring you that residual income. It can bring you that freedom of not having to worry about, oh, is this company going to fire me? Or is there going to be layoffs? It feels like the longer we live, the more layoffs and things that we're experiencing, especially in the world of corporate America. Yeah, construction workers, I think, well, I don't know. I talked to some of my friends in the construction business, and they're even seasonal. I think there's a good 2-3 months where guys ain't working, and you have to, it's almost like you're a damn bear. You have to get all your food because you're going to be hibernating for a few weeks. You know what I mean? But it's scary, man. I've been a part of a mass layoff and reduction in force, and there's no saying that it couldn't happen again. I really knock on wood. Hopefully it doesn't, because those are scary moments, especially when you're a father of 3 and you have a wife and everything. It's scary, and you take care of your parents and whatnot. It's scary if you don't have income. A lot of people in this country are one income away from being homeless or losing a whole bunch of stuff, right? And which is why I feel you should look at multiple sources of trying to bring in income and trying to run your own business, regardless on what it is. If you're a graphic designer trying to figure out how to get paid off of graphic designing, if you are a wood maker, how can you make some custom woodwork? Whatever it is that you do, taking up a trade or a craft. I was just talking to Sean, and there was a big boom. I would say towards the top of the pandemic, I felt like a lot of people started wanting to take barbering seriously. And it might be because there was no barbershops open, or you couldn't go to see your barber, and so they had to figure out how to do their own kids' hair or whatever. But that in itself, while it's a grind, that's another way of making income. Learn how to barber for a few years, and then eventually just start to slowly build your clientele. And who knows, by the time, if things get rocky at work, you can just be like, all right, well, I'm making what I'm making barbering working for you, so I'm just going to go do this barber thing. I'm just going to make my own money. That's the hope. I hope that whatever it is that you do, that you bet on yourself, know that it's going to be hard, know that it's going to be time consuming. Know that it's going to be frustrating at times, but that you dive into yourself. You continue to inspire people, even if they don't tell you that you inspire them, and you stay motivated and find those people. Like, I keep Sean close to me. Like, that's my guy. I keep him close to me because I seen what he built, and I know it's only going to get bigger. It's only going to get brighter. He's only going to shine more. And I want to see that brightness. I want to see him continue to build the Boogie Down empire. And I'm going to continue to build what I got going on over here. And I'm going to try to help him out as much as I can along the way, because I believe in him. And again, if you believe in somebody or something, lean into it. Don't be scared to champion your friends. Don't be scared to tell your friends that you're proud of them. Don't be scared to lead the charge on something that they might create. Treat their product like it's your product. Hell, when I'm taking pictures and when I'm posting Boogie Down, I'm like, yo, come check out our shop. I'm in it. Yo, this is my shop too now. All right, Sean? Yeah, it's your shop, but by product, I'm Boogie Down too. Wear my hat everywhere. I tell everybody that needs a barber, check out my guy. Oh, which reminds me, I got to tell my chiropractor to go check out Sean, because now his shop is down the street from my chiropractor, which I stopped going partly because my HSA ran out, but now a New Year's coming, so I think I'm gonna go back. Dr. Eric, Holiday Chiropractic, he's awesome. If you're looking for a chiropractor, I highly suggest him. I hope the audio was okay for you today. I am running off of a different setup than I normally do, and I haven't used this setup in maybe about 2. Matter of fact, it probably was the last time I used this setup was probably when I interviewed Jesse Reyes at the depot in the basement during this time too, because we were talking about Christmas and how much she hates it. All right, well, I'm gonna call this thing a wrap. I think we've been going for damn near 40 minutes, so I hope you enjoyed this episode of Podsmas Day 4, and I hope that you and your family do something special. I hope, and something special doesn't have to be something crazy. It could be so much as cooking dinner together, or eating dinner together, or watching a Christmas movie together. If you have Christmas movie suggestions, throw them my way. I'm looking for more and more movies, and I'm not opposed to a Hallmark movie, because as you know, I found a gem with that movie I was talking about earlier. But please send me a voice note. I want to add your stories into the show. So again, maybe there was a special Christmas, maybe there was a special holiday moment, regardless if it was good, bad, ugly. I want to hear it. Leave me a voice note. You can always call the hotline 801-449-1158. You can also text that number, or if you have me on social media at DreRawka, DreRawka. You can leave me a voice note in the DM, and then I can just play it on the show. All right. Hope you have the day you deserve. Always protect your light. Merry Christmas to all, and to all, a good night.